Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
And 3.
Number 2.
Follow that up with a soon-to-be frosty 1.
Woohoo!
Hi, America. You know it. So first of all, my apologies. As always, I'm just dropping the ball left and right, Juan. People that are just waiting on it every week, and all of a sudden...
Hey, bro. Life happens sometimes.
I know. But anyway, America, hey, you are
You're welcome.
Very, very welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was in Richmond, Virginia this past weekend when we would normally record, and I was just doing an assessment. You know, we've been doing this for what now, 17 years, Juan, 18 years?
It'll be 4, like March 1st. It'll be 4 years.
Really? So we're coming up on 4 years. So, and we probably would have hit the 200th edition by now, were it not for, you know.
I don't know. We hadn't missed that many.
Not that many. We've never missed more than a week in a row. I don't believe. But yeah, so I was thinking back in the old days when we first started, man, if I'd be set up in hotel rooms and fighting for trying to get a decent internet connection and whatnot. And I don't know.
Well, it was funny because you were out of town and I knew you were going to be tight on time. And I didn't even mention to you until just now that I was in Houston last week too.
Right.
And I typically bring my stuff. And I said, I'm not bringing this stuff. We'll see. See what
right.
happens. And then when you finally texted me and said, I don't know what I can do this weekend, I admitted that, I'd been on the road all day and I couldn't do it either. I was just waiting for you to take
that has happened. Sometimes it's like, man, I wonder if Juan's having but because you always you don't feel as bad when the other guy says, man, look, I'm having a tough week making this work. But anyway, America, hey, enough of that. We're back.
We're back. That's all that matters.
And there's been so little news.
Yeah, it's been a slow couple of weeks or slow 20 to 25.
Now, I'll show you how messed up California has been, will continue to be. The fire started burning. What? I don't know. I think they were burning last week when
they said it was started by one theory, I guess, and maybe one of the fires started left over from New Year's Eve fireworks.
I don't believe any of that.
No.
I think they've also caught people setting fires.
Yeah.
A lot of homeless.
But it's been, last week or the end of the week before last was when it was raging.
Correct. It was just blowing. But today, as we speak, and we are recording this we're doing this on a Saturday. What's today, Juan? Today's the 18th?
January 18th. Yeah.
It's still burning. They still have places, at it. But the one thing not the one thing, several things struck me about the fire and watching things, because it happened in just like a week or so after the New Orleans terror attack. And it was almost like I told you last time we were on, when I saw what happened in New Orleans, I'd forgotten LaToya was the mayor, right? And I was also shocked to find out the people that they were putting on TV, LaToya might have been the best person they had. Right. She was cream of the crop. I never would expect it. All right. So I'm watching that thinking, well, New Orleans just has to have the worst leadership, the worst mayor, the worst. Right. New Orleans must be the U.S. city with the absolute worst possible leadership structure.
And then the L.A. mayor says, hold my beer.
Oh, L.A. didn't just hold the beer. L.A. just said, hey, hold a case of beer. Oh, my goodness gracious. The cast of clowns the people in L.A., especially around the fire department, which is why, these are the people, forget the mayor of LA, even though it's something that was pending, that was they could tell, like they know ahead of time that, okay, the winds are going to come up. We know this time of year, and we know how what a tinderbox LA is, and it's quite likely, if not probable, if not, it's likely that there's going to be some issues where she.
And it's a tinder box because they leave the tinder there.
Correct. They don't clear anything up, but they made the granny chief of police in New Orleans look
Chief
semi
Big
competent.
Hat.
Chief Big Hat. There you go. Semi competent. But my thing is what ends up coming out, and I don't know. It's all for. You got to just sometimes think, okay, maybe there's a if God has a plan, maybe this is what some of the things happen where certain things start getting exposed, because even the most rah big government, pooey, we hate Trump people in the world out in
Yeah.
California are saying it would have been nice to have water in the fire hydrants. Right. You would think those things are a little bit more than for just decoration.
I think that was. I would just think you would know before the fire starts if you don't.
You would think. You would think.
Not a fireman. I would
But
just think.
apparently most of the folks in LA city government and the county figured that fire hydrants were just for dogs to pee on, and they were just there for decorations, not that they would ever be
Well,
used.
I was reading something yesterday, and they were just talking about the corruption in Los Angeles government, and apparently, whatever this water board is or whatever, they likened it to the movie Chinatown from the 1970s.
That's what Chinatown was about. The water
And
wars.
they
Yeah.
said that is the biggest piece of corruption, whoever's on the water board or whatever they call it, and just the I guess the embezzlement, the handing out of contracts, people getting rich off of the deal.
Wasn't that basically the New Orleans levee district?
Yeah.
All those. I
Mhm.
mean, because I was in Virginia with some folks, and talking current events,
Yeah.
and they're talking about all the incompetence and people just stunned, which is weird to me that even and I've got some really good friends who are we always joke about which team you on. And it's kind of funny when you have like a really liberal friend or a really conservative friend, and people can get along and talk, and that's cool. I like that. Right. But we were joking about that, about even people that are on that team being shocked.
Oh
Like
yeah, all celebrities, all the big money people,
they're
and
all just how could this kind of incompetence possibly be happening? Well, have you not been paying attention?
well, and Adam Carolla did, and Adam, he had to evacuate. I don't know if his house
He's on a
burned,
roll. Yeah, Corolla
but
nailed it.
yeah, he basically said, "Screw all of y'all. Y'all voted for this, and you knew what you were voting for, and now it's coming home to roost."
Well, did you see? And I'm sure you must have by now. And I I was not stunned watching this video. I was not stunned that there are people that think this way, because the world is full of very idiots, right? But you see and I don't think she was the head of the fire department, but she had a pretty well paid role. She may have been the DEI person. I'm not sure. The woman that basically said, we get, people say like, well, could you carry my husband out of
Yeah,
a house? And she says, well, he got himself into that situation. So their approach was, hey, if you're stuck in a fire, that's on you.
yeah.
You
Well,
got.
there were even, I guess probably, not large groups, but there are people posting like celebrating because the fire chief is is a DEI hire.
And by the way, when you say that, that is not slander. They brag about it.
Right.
That's the
So there are
whole
people
thing.
posting stuff. Yeah, a lesbian can do this job.
Well, man,
Not that
Bill
sure.
Maher. So Bill Maher, he goes back and forth, and I tell conservatives, don't get too excited with Bill Maher. If those of you don't know, he has what's his show?
Politically
It's
incorrect.
politically incorrect, right? And he's a smart guy, but man, he is as progressive liberal. He loathes Trump, the whole deal, and whatever. But he makes good points now and then. But he was taking shots about that situation. You can't
Well,
brag to
he
the.
talks about that, if this had been a Republican administration, all of the Democrats would have been coming out in force.
Right.
And he said, you can't bury your head and pretend it's not a problem because it's your team that's leading it.
Yeah, and don't tell me that that's the thing too, is like, don't accuse me or anyone of any kind of prejudice when you're just pointing out what you said. Like,
Yeah.
when you say, hey, the most important thing about hiring somebody for a very important job is not whether they can do the job, it's not whether they're any good, had any background on it. It's we want to feel good about ourselves hiring, and you define the way you want to do it, right? You define no, it's just, but I think we're kind of turning a corner where people are starting to, I think, maybe say, yeah, what are we doing here? I read something, and again, I got people on Facebook that I like. They're fine. They put funny memes up there, but let's just say lean far left, right? And we've joked about this before. Like, one side feels totally comfortable accusing other
Oh
people of,
yeah.
right? So, and this guy put something up there today, and it was like, something is not a choice. This is not a choice. This is not a choice. This is not a choice. Hate is a choice, right? And I just kind of just such a virtue signaling crap. And another friend of mine who's well, let's just say, like I said, I got friends who are
Yeah. It was
way on this
equally
side
or polar opposite.
and friends that are way on this side. And I don't think they always comment on each other's things, but this guy came up and says, I totally agree with you, but don't, you, like many, confuse disagreement with hate.
Yeah. Good. Excellent point.
Yeah, I don't hate any of that. I disagree with it. Two
Yeah.
different, and I was
It's
like,
like, I know
man,
this
well
guy,
said.
and I know him through, I guess, business interactions or whatever, through voiceover interactions over
Okay.
a couple of years. He lives in Minnesota, and he's far left. And he posted yesterday, and it was, let's see, will I watch TV Monday? What will I rather do? Watch TV Monday or get a double colonoscopy without anesthetics?
Okay.
And I'll take the colonoscopy. And it's like, turn
Exactly.
the TV off.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Would you have been watched? How many people watched the inauguration? I don't know that I've ever watched the inauguration in my life.
Well, that's, by the way, so that's the other thing coming up, right? So we kind of like, segging into that. But so by the time you guys are seeing this, it'll probably have happened, right? It happens on Monday
Yeah, Monday
afternoon.
morning, I think.
Yeah, and let's just knock wood and hope that everything goes off smoothly. Again, me, conspiracy Dave. I don't know that this is much of a conspiracy. They are moving everything indoors, right? So because they're claiming, the weather is going to be in the 20s. That's not pleasant. But by DC standards, I mean, they do that. I mean,
Yeah,
they've done these things in colder situations. I flat out think that they realized,
they're worried.
no,
They're
no, no, no.
worried.
Oh, I was, yeah, exactly. There's some kind of, you just want to protect. You got to
Yeah,
get past the hand on the
yeah,
Bible. Let's start, because there
yeah.
are.
It's gonna fly soon after that. Things are gonna start. Well, I did see just right before we came on, Tim Kaine, not Tim Kaine, Tim Walsh. Is his
Are you still
name?
around? Waltz with a Z. Yeah.
Yeah. Posted this morning that, taking a shot at that, where uh it's not bad weather, it's bad clothing. And so, with a picture of him in his lumberjack outfit or whatever. And within minutes of that, people started responding with pictures of both of his inaugurations that were inside because of the cold weather.
Yeah. Well, big surprise. A lot of hypocrisy going on. And I got it's not be political here, but it's just you see yesterday. I think it was yesterday where our boy Biden just decides to announce that the ERA amendment that's
Yeah.
been it is
Been
now
ratified.
ratified, and it is. By the way, that's not how this works, y'all. It can't. He and but the fact that he's out there spewing,
Right. It
even
had to have, based on whenever the amendment was laid out, it had to have
done
been
dead,
ratified by 1980.
done dead. It's not even. It is several layers of unconstitutional. Like Cannot. And then some of these freaking senior leaders of one party is all, oh, it's, the ERA has been ratified now. And it's like, no, it hasn't.
And even if the votes had and all of this stuff had happened in the right time, he has zero to do with it.
Nothing. So it's almost on the way out. It's like, I guess it's just for the legacy kind of stuff.
Well, he's not he's got to be the most, let me back up. He's been more active in the last month of his presidency than in the first 47 months.
Well, that's how it started off, though. If you remember, they had a long list. I mean, the day he was sworn in, he did more executive orders in the first day or two than
most of them were undoing Trump's.
Of course, said he wouldn't, right? They always said that, but that's, they lie, both sides lie. But now apparently, starting on Monday, they got a long list of executive orders that Trump's going to be signing with that big big Trump signature there.
I did see when Biden was speaking, I guess, did he go to LA or was he just, I think he went to LA and was speaking about the fires. And he did give a bit of good news that he had a great grandson that was born.
Who does that, man?
Yeah.
Who is standing in front of a group of people whose community,
not just their homes, their cities
burned down, not just the homes, the businesses, you are standing there. You are there to be a leader.
You're there to console the people.
And then just say, hey, got some good news. I'm a great, I just like, wow.
And then some meeting that they had, I don't know, and he called on Kamala to speak and, said that, you could probably speak better than this, better to this because you're from there. Fire away. And then he said, oh, just no, whatever. Well, and again, we're on this subject. So where did I pull it up here? I think I sent. Well, here's why you're pulling that up. I told somebody the other day, Jimmy Carter, I think, passed away definitely at peace, but I think he finally let go because he was able to die knowing that he was no longer the worst president ever.
That's right. Well, I guess, time will tell. History will judge us. But and here's a guy. And look, I want to be honest. Like I've said this before. A pox on both their houses. I got people that I do not care for on either side. I am not. I had a good conversation with a friend in Virginia, and she's a dear friend. And let me just put it this way: doing it almost as I guess her and some of her friends sort of as a joke, but not really a joke. And they decided that they did not want to be in the country when so they're going up to Canada for a few days while the inauguration is happening. And I kind of joked, you better be careful because they might not let you back.
Yeah.
Then again, you may be going up to the 51st state, so it might be.
You could be the first.
But so a guy that I'm not a big, and I mean, I can, people can debate, and I know it's like it's I shouldn't talk bad about Louisiana people, but I'm not a big fan of Mike Johnson. I'm not. He might be a good man. I have no reason to think he's not. He thumps that Bible an awful lot, and I guess he's sincere about that, and I got no problem with that. But to me, he's a doormat. I don't think he's a fighter. Yeah. I think he comes out.
Did you hear what the governor's doing?
Landry?
Well, go ahead, finish, and I'll come back to that.
I probably did. But the thing is,
Mike
Johnson, and he's telling a story now. So this is now, okay? Said that he had a meeting with let's see. This is Mike Johnson now. It says, I'm just going to read what the guy said. During a one-on-one meeting, Speaker Johnson asked President Biden why he paused LNG, liquid natural gas, exports to Europe. He says Biden was completely unaware that he had done so. Okay? Says, and at this point saying the United States hasn't had a president for 4 years. Says Johnson says Biden was completely unaware of an executive order he signed. He said the comments came in, this is an interview that Johnson just gave, I guess, this week. He said after fighting for 9 weeks with Biden's staff, he was finally able to get a meeting with the president. When he arrived, he was ambushed by Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, and Hakeem Jeffries. Biden, who apparently didn't know what was going on, asked the others to leave so he could meet privately with Johnson. And Johnson said, it occurred to me he was not lying to me. He genuinely did not know what he had signed. I walked out of that meeting with fear and loathing because I thought we are in serious trouble. Now, okay, you know what? I totally believe that story. I totally
Oh, yeah,
100% believe it.
yeah.
Hey, Johnson, why are you
Why didn't
telling
you
it
say it
now?
when it happened?
Why are you saying it now, you doormat? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. I got a buddy of mine who's, he hates when I take shots at, because I take a lot of shots at Republicans. I do.
Yeah.
And he always, and he comes back, well, he has a thin majority. I'm like, so what's the purpose? One side has a thin majority and they do everything, right? It's always like, oh, if I had a bigger majority, no, you
Right,
wouldn't.
right. Republicans, yeah, maybe now they will, but Republicans, no matter how big the majority is, they always act like they're in the minority.
Yeah, dude, it's happening in Texas. I'm so disappointed right now in Texas. Texas is about as red a state as you want to find, but our politicians are it's a game, man. So like the Texas House is, I mean, it's a big Republican majority, but the Speaker of the House is crazy rhino, like basically elected with as many Democrat votes as, and it's kind of funny. One side can call it quote unquote uniparty. I mean, they can call it coming together, but the fact of the matter is, they stop things like election reform and all the
Yeah.
things that. But there we go. We didn't want to
Well,
get too political, y'all, but it's the
but
time of
here, I'll
this
just
time of
go
the
with
year.
this. So, Governor Landry here,
Oh, okay, yeah.
who is not one to shy away from doing things that to me are gratuitous just to, you know, get clicks.
May Jeff knows what Jeff is not. Yeah, exactly.
So,
He
so
will get some clicks.
Monday on inauguration day at the governor's mansion, he will be flying directly under the American flag, the MAGA flag.
The MAGA flag. The MAGA flag.
And
You
I
know,
don't care, but it's like,
I I get it. You know, I you know what I'm saying? Hey, you're the governor. Do what you want.
yeah, and
That's
it's just like, yeah, you're ticking people off for no value.
a little
You're not,
bit.
what do you, what do
I can argue both sides of it. Once, like it's I could see both arguments, why you're doing it and why I would say, okay, is that really necessary? But we've spent 4, 5, 8 years saying, is that really necessary? And I'm
yeah,
learning that, yeah, everything's sort of
yeah.
necessary. You got to butt heads. But let me tell you about what you said about Jeff. I laughed my butt off. So I'm watching something the other day. I really wasn't watching TV. I was on my phone doing, and it was the TV was on, and I look up, and Trump is meeting with the governors, the Republican governors. So he's out. I guess he's at Mar-a-Lago, and big round table, right? And he was taking questions, which the reporters, I guess, are kind of excited about now, or because
They can actually have something to
yeah, they
report
can
on.
actually ask some questions. And so the camera is semi tight on Trump, okay? And then they kind of pull away one time, and he's got Governor Youngkin from Virginia
Yeah.
sitting to his side. But then when it just got wide enough, all I could see to Trump's left, so to the screen right to Trump's left, was the sleeve, the suit sleeve of the governor sitting next to him. Bro, I knew it was Jeff Landry before they, because Jeff wears certain shades of blue that
I was gonna say the bluest of blue.
it's like the blue in his suits is not in a crayon box. I'm talking even a 64, 128, whatever the biggest crayon box is, they don't quite have that. It's almost a sky cobalt steel. It's a hard. I'm not saying it's not a pretty color. I'm not saying it's not a, you know what I'm
Is
saying?
unique.
It's unique. It's unique.
I
That or
think
the
in a couple of years they may call that Jeff Landry blue.
they may as well start right now, because I'm not seeing anybody. I watched it and I thought, and look, I'm a big fan. I like Jeff a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Met him. I think Louisiana's in for a pretty decent run with Jeff. I really do. Yeah, his that the blues and the pinstripes. He's a big fan of the pinstripes. You can
Pinstripe. No, he doesn't. I don't think he wears a lot of seersucker suits.
not seersucker. I don't think I've seen. That's more like a Kennedy move.
Yeah,
That's more like Foghorn Leghorn Senator
but
Kennedy.
seersucker's from Louisiana, so
Yeah, yeah. But No, that was, and when they panned back, I said, I knew that was Jeff. I knew that was some Landry Blue in there, but well, good deal. Big they're talking about Louisiana, New Orleans. The Super Bowl is what,
Super
3?
Bowls, we got 2 weeks left of playoffs, and then another week. So next week will be the finals, and then there's a week off. So 3 weeks from tomorrow, 3 weeks from this weekend, I'm guessing is the Super Bowl.
What you think? I mean, what you think New Orleans is going to be like Super Bowl?
I think it's gonna be just like it always is.
Okay, I just figured it'd be crawling with
I think there'll be a lot of cops.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not
I
talking
don't
about.
think there'll be any streets that will be accessible by vehicles.
You think Chief of Police Big Hat's going to be out there?
I don't know. She was taking some heat for something this week. I don't know what it was. I just saw her big picture, and I, I think it'll be, I don't know. It'll be interesting because people are complaining because they did what every big city does in the time of national attention. They got rid of all the homeless people.
Saw that. They were like
They
sticking them on
loaded them up and
buses.
moved them out.
They were sticking them on. Gotta love that, huh? Gotta love that. Hey, America. Hey, people that just like, what would you do? Apparently, when these cities have company coming over, it was
That's
like
right.
when San Francisco cleaned everything up when Chinese President Xi
Right.
showed up. Super Bowl's coming to town. So, yeah, we're going to, hey, are you homeless people?
Yeah, move them out, spend a gazillion dollars. I think they pressure washed like Bourbon Street and everything, and
Man,
uh,
they took all the,
so yeah, you got all the stink out.
all
So
the carol. It'll come back quick.
oh yeah, it'll be back by the Monday after the Sugar Bowl. I mean after the Super Bowl. So it'll
That's a
just be
unique.
fresh. It'll be fresh stink though.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. Like New Orleans probably gets a Super Bowl every 4 to 6 years, 7 years.
It's been a while though.
Has it?
Has.
Yeah, they should just get it. I mean, New Orleans
Well, there
doesn't
are
do a
people
lot of
who
things well.
advocate or who would support it being there every year.
Correct. There, I guess now Vegas. They say Vegas. I've been to Vegas while the football stadium was being built, so I know where it's at and I've seen it. I've never been in that stadium, but I think they say like that would probably be, for the
Yeah, because I think a lot of people don't realize. Like, remember a few years ago, it was in Jacksonville, and they said, the stadium there is actually like an hour and a half away from Jacksonville, so you got to stay a couple hours out, and then
it's a mess. Well, they even complained about Houston in the past because the Houston. Well, you're going to know this quite well when your daughter's coming to the University of Houston, but where NRG is not really. It's not. It's definitely not walking distance, but it's not close to.
Well, it's not hotels and stuff like that where people stay, and I don't know. Like when we were in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, it was, I could see the Mercedes Stadium, whatever they call it, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, out of my hotel room window. So, but I don't know if that's just downtown or that's where people go to.
But that's the plus of New Orleans is that all the hotel rooms, even people that come in for the Super Bowl and stay out near the airport say it's not as bad as
right. You're in the closest proximity to the social aspect, the pre and post game stuff.
Yeah.
As anything. I remember years ago when it was here, we kept going. Yeah. We probably went to New Orleans. That was back when I felt safe going to New Orleans, like 2 or 3 days in a row leading up to the Super Bowl. Because I was saying, man, certainly we're going to see cool people and we'll get, all this stuff. And then I realized that all the cool people were in places that I wasn't invited to be.
Yeah. Yeah. The cool people are not hanging out. They're not walking down Bourbon. They're
They wasn't shooting a bull with Peter Perita at the famous door.
So again, we're talking about sports and stuff. So I went to the playoff game last week. In fact, when we get off here, my son knocks off of work, and I think we're gonna go try to catch the Texans game somewhere, some local bar or whatever. But so I went to the game, tailgating, and had a friend of mine pick me up. Yeah, because my son couldn't come, he was working. So a friend of mine, and then somebody else. There were 3 of us leaving my house to head to tailgating. 3.5 hours before the game at NRG. So as we're leaving,
man, I had an afternoon to kill. I should have come tailgate.
Hey, butthead, if you'd have told me you were coming to Houston, right? I mean, dang, yes, 100%. You could have jumped in because anybody can come into the tailgate. Well, here's what happened. As we're pulling away, let me pull up Ticketmaster. Let me get, parking pass and I typically would have two. Then I'd already accepted them, downloaded them into my Ticketmaster, my Texans Ticketmaster account.
Mhm.
And so if you pulled it up, 2 tickets to get in and then a parking pass. Parking passes are like $75. Okay. Um, so as I'm leaving, I'm pulling it up and I'm getting an error statement from Ticketmaster. Something I forget something about my network, whatever. Try to switch networks or do whatever. I'm like, I'm on cellular. I'm not on this one. So let me try something else. Won't let me in. Error statement. So let me try a few things, and this 5 minutes goes by, and guys are talking, going to the game, and I'm starting to build up tension. Like, hang on a second, I can't get the tickets. Yeah, pull it up. So I tell 26-year-old in the back, Jake. He's a tech guy, he knows stuff. He starts troubleshooting stuff. Try this, try this cache, try this, change it with it. As we drive, can't get access. Just block. So okay, log out, turn my phone off. Somebody else's phone. Can't be a network. Try. Here's my log in. Won't do it.
And it just won't log in?
Won't let it. It gets to a point where
So
it's
that's where your game tickets are as well.
Yes, my game tickets and the parking pass to get in. Okay. And we're heading to the line because what happens is you get there typically 30 minutes or so before they open the gates. And you line up in cars. And then when they open it up, you have to scan. So we're probably 30 minutes into this now, give or take. And it's like, gosh, so Chat GPT, I get the toll-free number or I get customer support for Ticketmaster. Hey, America, if you're having a chill day and you're thinking, man, I'm just too chilled out today. I'm having too relaxing a day. Call Ticketmaster customer service and have fun with that. I go through these menus, forever. I'm on hold listening. And hold music is always the worst music in the world. They want you to hang up. And then every time you think somebody's coming on to talk to you, it's really just a recording suggesting that you use their chat with, awful. Finally get this, and I'm probably 45 minutes into when I'm trying to get in and I'm waiting. They're about to open the gates. And I get this woman on. English was not her first language, but that's okay. You remember what I always say, if somebody has a strong accent, it means they know at least one more language than I do. But so we kind of fight through it, and I tell her what's going on. And then she proceeds to start trying to tell me to do everything we already tried. So I said, we'd already tried, right? Everything she says, it did that. Then one time she
said, you're still in line?
Yeah, we're waiting to go in. We're in a car, right? And then she says, did you try, how about trying turning off your phone and turning it back on? I'm like, how am I going to stay on the phone with you?
Yeah.
Whatever. And then she tried, she goes, I'll put in an official work order. Yeah, whatever. And I said, ma'am, how long is that going to take? She said, well, it's 3 to 5 business days. I was like, okay, let's go back to how I started this conversation.
Yeah. And when do you think people call Ticketmaster support? Probably not 3 to 5 business days before the event that their tickets are for.
I'm telling her, I said, ma'am, I said, I'm trying to get into an event. I'm at a playoff game. I said, the only way I can get in is on your app, which it is not letting me. I said, I even erased it and
re-uploaded the app.
Up everything done. Don't the gates open, and we start whatever. And I'm talking to her, and we're probably like maybe 10, 12 deep in the line. We get up there, and the employee, trying to think of who I'd say she looked like, but anyway, so she's got she's got a scanner, but she also has a card reader. So so you could pay, I guess, $75, and I'm thinking, God, it's going to tick me off to pay another $75 just to get in, right? And the guy driving, my friend driving, says, ma'am, he's on with Ticketmaster. We're trying to whatever. And she says, just lean over and hold your phone up. And I'm like, I can't. I don't have the, like she's telling me to lean over and put the phone up for her to scan it. And I'm like, I said, I'm fighting with it. She says, no, darling, just let me pretend I'm scanning your phone. I held the phone up. She says, I got you, sugar. She says, y'all have a great day. Man, we pulled out of there, dude. I was yelling, you are the employee of the year. sure.
Either that or, that could be what those police officers did in New Orleans. Just drive on through.
Man, I don't know. But I will say this.
Well,
That
that
made my
probably means
day.
that you're not the first guy to have a problem.
Probably not.
And second of all, were you in a position where you would have been able to turn around had you not been let in?
They would have had to let me. They do that before. You'd have had to be let in because there's security everywhere, and turn me right around and send me out the other way. Or she could have said, she could have just easily said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I can't do whatever." Said, swipe a card to get in. But apparently, she looked at us and realized, man, I don't think these guys are lying. And again, I paid the
Good
money.
on her.
100%. 100%. That's what I said. Totally reminded me of, okay, it just takes, one decent person to say, yeah, I know it's stupid.
Yeah,
And that's what we were all saying too. It's like, man, like good old days when you could print the freaking tickets,
yeah,
but there's too much fraud, because you can't even
yeah.
do a screenshot anymore.
No, I remember this is the first time LSU went to the championship game, or the first time in 50 years, like 2003 or whatever, before everything was digital. And I bought some tickets on Bourbon Street. And then I'm like, how do I even know these freaking tickets are legit? Luckily, they were.
When you get up there, you're like,
Yeah. So
how much money did I just blow here?
Well, I'll tell you a story about this morning about somebody turning you away. So the registration on my car ends it expires at the end of the month. So I was going a little place where you can go. It's called like Neighborhood Title or something, and it's one of these places now where you can go renew your driver's license and everything. You can even go, like my daughter went, when she got her driver's license. That's you do the test with your driver's ed instructor, and then you just bring the paperwork there.
Okay.
I know the girl who runs the place. I've talked about her before. She was, went to college with her. She was big, drunk and obnoxious. She's still drunk and obnoxious. I see her every now and then. So
it's our kind of friends, just drunk and obnoxious.
Yeah. But so I got there. I was out running some errands this morning, and I said, "Well, let me see if they're open." And it was, I could tell lights were on, but it was like 8:45, and it said opens at 9. I said, "Oh no, maybe they're open. Let me go." And so I see her sitting behind the desk. I just kind of wave, and she looks at me and says, "Hey, 9:00." And I'm like, "All right, well, I thought you'd at least come stick your head out here and tell me hi." Then I'm sitting there saying, "There's no way she recognized me." But then so I went back later on, and yeah, she recognized me. But so I gotta paint a picture here. So I was in my daughter and my wife are out of town. So I was in my daughter's car. And like I said, my daughter went there and got her driver's license. I didn't go with her because I didn't want to see this girl. But I had business there this morning. And she said, "Why are you in your daughter's car?" So she knows to that extent.
100%, yeah.
I said, she's out of town, and it was parked behind me, so I just took that one. So I told her what I needed, and I need your driver's license and your insurance. Right, there you go. The car is registered in your wife's name, so she's gonna have to come in.
Really?
Hey. Really? You can't just no. I just need her to come in. That's all right. Well, she's out of town. Are y'all open Monday? She's off for Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's true. I forgot. Yeah. The inauguration's on Martin Luther King Day. I didn't know.
Okay. And so she replies, "Well, we're open, but I won't be here." And what I wanted to say, well, you're here now. Why does that matter? It's not like you're giving me any special help.
I just want you to know that when I go to the world famous Dave and Juan Wartime podcast, right, I'm gonna talk about your drunk, obnoxious butt and how you would not help a brother out.
Yeah, knew me, knew my wife's name, knew my wife, knew my daughter, about her name, knew her car.
I was about to say she had a lot of information on you, bro.
Yeah,
enough that she should have known. But well, it's the opposite story of the nice lady that said, "Lean over, let me pretend I'm scanning." I'd have brought her a beer. If she wouldn't have been, I'm not lying. If she weren't working, and then thankfully the Ticketmaster about an hour later.
Oh, so you got
Yeah, because that's the other thing. I thought I was gonna have to go find customer service somewhere. What a nightmare. And then to get my friend Kurt, who didn't know, he started the ticket handler, whatever, and I'm saying, "Hey, I might need the order number on the one." And he's looking at me and goes, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun." this is gonna be fun, especially after these guys have a bunch of beer in them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me get my slightly intoxicated friend who doesn't know what we're talking about over to customer service
Well,
to get me
here, I'll give you another technology story since you're talking about Ticketmaster tech. So, my mother-in-law's Facebook page was quote unquote hacked
That's
this
been
week.
happening a lot lately.
And I say quote unquote because I've always been a believer that it's not really getting hacked. It's just like some bot that sends friend
Right.
requests out, creates a fake profile. Well, this thing, it posted, and I've seen other people have this, and there's been some changes in our family. My sister-in-law has breast cancer, so they're selling a lot of things, and I'm trying to help them sell.
I saw that. Okay, I saw when you put
I
something.
posted it.
Yeah.
So, and it's like heavy equipment. It's big old four-wheelers. It's a front end loader. It's like, literally tractors and stuff. And her biggest reasoning behind it was, why would whoever did this think that I would have a four-wheeler? And I said, I don't think he cares if you have a four-wheeler. And I'm trying to calm her down. I said, look, nobody has your information. That's just a bot. So I said, let me see what happens. Because then I realized that whoever did it turned off comments, so you couldn't comment on it. So I sent a note through it because you had to message for details. And I said, hey, how much is that front end loader? Instant response.
Really?
$4,200, $800 down. I'll hold it for you. That's cool. Can you send the VIN number? Nah, it's my sister-in-law. She's out of town, and she's out getting treatment. So, all right. Where would I pick it up if I bought it? Gave me my mother-in-law's address.
Wow. Yeah.
And so that's when I said, "Oh man, this ain't good. He's really got it." And I said, if somebody, unknowingly shows up at her house to buy something,
Yep.
she will lose it. And understandable. I mean, she's older
Yes.
woman, lives by
100%.
herself. So I let it go. Then the next day, I sent it back, going back and forth with it. And I said, all right, I get it. How much to get her page back?
Oh, wow.
And he says, are you going to get it back for? I said, it depends. I'm inquiring about it. And $500.
You got to be kidding me.
And so I go back and forth, and I said, well, how would I get the money to you? And he said, oh, you could send it to me through Zelle or Zelle.
Right.
And I said, all right, well, you got to give me that info. And the dude then said, you better not be playing me.
Better not be playing you. I'm the criminal that's blackmailed.
I said, so the scammers worried about getting scammed.
There's got to be
So that's when you saw that I posted, I shared the post or a picture of it and said, okay, and I tried to tag her, but he had set it to where he had to, and I say he, I'm assuming it's a guy, he had to approve being tagged. So she wasn't actually tagged in the post and then blocked me.
Oh, yeah. No, well, that's what they do, right? I mean, I think my oldest son, I don't even think he's on anymore because I think his account got taken over or whatever, and it just becomes, it's here. What's annoying or scary is you just end up realizing how much you rely on certain social media things just
this is
for
the other
news
thing.
and to communicate
Right.
And they got your personal information, right?
For whatever reason, she doesn't want email on her phone. But her laptop broke a month or so ago.
Okay.
So she has no access to her email, which if somebody takes over your account, all you got to do is reclaim it and, or you can say reset the password and they'll send you an email to verify. It's that whole two-party or two-tier authentication thing. So I'm trying to do it. I said, give me your password. No, that's not the password. Oh, that's not it. I said, okay, I can reset the password, but now you got these questions. These here, I don't know. I'm talking about a woman who has everything written down. Every piece of electronic that the woman has ever bought, she has the manual for it, and she can't. All of her passwords are like if she changes the password, she doesn't write it down. She writes it down, but doesn't scratch out the old one.
Man, look, I can't comply. I got to be careful who I make fun of because I right now to my right here in front of my big, I'm on a laptop on the big computer over here. Dude, I got so many passwords written down, scratched through. Got to
Well,
change it. Oh, can't do it to that. Try to, oh,
well,
man.
I was able to get it back. I went to her house to deal with it because trying to tell her, guide her through it on the phone is like
I,
torture.
I just
But
like
I
how the
said, when I
guy,
leave, you better shred that paper with all those wrong passwords on it.
or just like I like the guy who, I'm the one that's stealing stuff. I'm the one that's trying to
That's right. You
scam
better not
people.
be playing me.
You better not be, my dad, God rest his soul, years ago. I mean, one of the smartest men I've ever met, but he ended up, uh, I say Russian. He called it Russian. Maybe that was the, anyway, he got his computer kind of grabbed like it was locked up virus, whatever, and got but I guess he ransomed, So
Yeah.
I think he gave him like, and he did it too. I think he gave him a couple $100 or something on the credit card, and then again they wanted more money. And I remember my dad being so freaking, I don't know if he was more mad or just upset with humanity that everything telling me you're so dishonest and da da da. I'm like, what are you talking to me? Yes, of course. Yes, they're dishonest. You're looking for honor out of somebody who put
Right. Who's already
virus
screwed you.
on your computer, and oh man.
Yeah, that was it.
But
So finally with this guy, I said, well, let me ask you, because he tell you the deposit's refundable. If you come there and you don't like it, it's refundable. And so I said, how much is it to hang my foot up your butt? And it's that refundable.
you might not know me, but I've been known to wear my Chuck Taylors and
That's right, dude.
go upside somebody's head. But yeah, well, I'm glad you were able to help
Yeah,
there.
it
You're
was.
talking about technology, and I mean it's sort of up your alley here because so I'm speaking. I was speaking in Virginia, pretty big group, couple 300 people. Uh, senior group. There are groups and then there are groups. There are groups and you're like, man, a room full of professionals. In my head, I'm thinking, man, what's the salaries in this place?
So
I'm
you meant,
thinking,
see, I thought you were saying my group and you're going to say senior citizens.
no, 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 no. Senior managers, very, very senior people with a couple of pretty decent sized
That's not my
banks.
group either.
Okay, well,
I'm sure you
right.
got another connection
So
coming.
but it's
No.
you want to bring your A game and they're a
Right.
good customer. So freaking AV, right? I in the back of the room. Last time we did it about a month ago, they had an older guy doing it. He was cool. Me and him were talking. This guy was, and he even said, he goes, man, look, the goal with AV is they don't know you here. He said, I tell the young guys all the time, if anybody on stage is having to talk to you, you messed up. There's not supposed to be anybody, right? So the day before, I remember it starts, and then the two CEOs get up there, and one of them's mic was working, and the other one wasn't. And it's nothing more annoying than trying and whatever we did. Lavalier wasn't working, and it's just a bad impression, right? It just So the next day, I'm sort of the
Because
kickoff
then you got to recover and trying to work through without looking like you're stupid.
man. And so the next day, and I'm there early, and I go on at 8. I'm supposed to go on at 8 o'clock in the morning, and so I'm down there golfing, whatever. 7:30, I find the guy. Said, "Hey man, you want to get? Let's get. I'm gonna." Because I usually use just a handheld, but I'm like, let me just do. I'll do the lav because I'd
Hmm.
heard the day before lav. So he said, well, how
And
about
for you
just
non-tech people, a lavalier microphone is just a clip-on microphone.
there you go, clip on microphone. So he says, well, I'll tell you what, let's why don't you just come back about 10 minutes before and I'm thinking, and they got like 4 or 5 of them. There's no reason for me to have to come back 10 minutes before. Like, all right, whatever, dude. All right, come back. Gets me on, whatever, test it. And I said, so I tuck it in my jacket, whatever. I said, so is this, you going to run it? It's on. It's on. She's looking at it. Said, yep, it's on. I said, you want to try it? You want to test whatever? No, I got you. I can see on the thing. It's good. All right, man. So great. And I'm getting ready. And before those of you that have ever done this or don't, before you get up on stage, you're kind of paying attention, you're watching what's going on. They ended up doing something right before me with the CEO and the president. And so I had in my mind what I want to tell, I had a joke about something. They just said, yeah, you know when you walk on the stage, pretty much what your first 15, 30 seconds is going to be. You got it ready to go. And I walk up there and I start and I realize I don't think they can hear me. And I look out of there, hey, can you hear me? No, Mike. So then I'm looking to the back of the room. Yo, bro, you want to, he's doing whatever. And so I'm standing there 10, 15 seconds trying to, make light of it. And then I ended up just saying, never mind, man. I grabbed the handheld that was somewhere else, basically ripped off the lavalier stuff. I didn't slam it on the stage, but I put it down like, that's your junk right there. And dude, the way I'm wired, I was so furious, right? But you can't do that. You got to, like, you're the rodeo clown that's there to talk. But man, I was so mad at that punk in the back. Like, dude, because it's like you said, nobody, they look at you like that's
Right.
That's
You're
your
the,
impression.
the people in there aren't turning around to see where the sound guy is.
You look like the idiot that doesn't know how to use a mic.
Right.
Now, thankfully, I'd spoken to this group before, and it wasn't, you know what I'm saying. It
Because
wasn't
you
like,
see a lot of those people who it's like they'll turn the mic over and try to turn it on, and it's then they can't tell if it's on or off.
and I'm like, why are you here? Seriously,
Should
like,
have said, "Hey, bud, come up here and get your mic and bring me another one." So I'm gonna introduce you to everybody.
well, if it wouldn't have been right, if it wasn't such a big room, and it was quite a walk up and everything, and you don't want to, and that's the other thing too.
Yeah, you don't
You
want to
don't,
look like they yawn.
you don't want to come off being the couillon chew jerk that's standing on the stage.
Yeah, Mister can't have a bad microphone.
Correctly, fussing this idiot. And then I want to tell the whole story. Oh, wait a minute. When I showed up 30 minutes ago, being a professional to get this
I was
thing,
ready to do something. I was ready to go check.
I was ready to
check.
test this thing, but my young Gen Z punk back there,
self-assured sound man.
that's right, says, oh no, get up there, bro. You got it covered. And I'm the one up there going, this thing on. This thing on.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
So take that to heart, young people out there, man. Don't suck at your jobs, right? Practice. Nothing more dangerous than a Gen Z that did something right a couple times because they think nothing could ever go wrong.
Yeah,
Right?
he probably, it was probably the microphone that didn't work the previous day. He figured out how to fix it and thought the problem was done, as opposed to maybe there was a problem with the device.
I don't know. Testing it would have been nice. Testing it would have been nice. But a part of me blames myself now, Juan, because as the experienced, long time, guy that does this, I should have said, no, bro, we're going to check the mic. Right? I'm not. Here's what I'm going to do.
Time.
I'm going to walk up toward the stage and we're going to test this mic. All right? Just humor me. Let me hear my coon ass sounds coming over these.
Then you need to go up there and go,
yeah,
and just mouth stuff and
mess with
let them think something's bad.
Walked around Richmond, man. It was a pretty day. It was cold, but I brought myself some long underwearish kind of deal, so I was able to walk around. Richmond's a pretty town, man. I went to the state capitol. At Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson had designed and everything, and it's really nice. And then typical, Southerner. So I didn't want to go back to the hotel, so I'm like, just punch up in my phone, beer. Where can I get a beer? Whatever. And it was kind of a short walk to a place called Penny Lane Tavern, I guess, a Liverpool tavern.
It's an English pub.
English pub. I walk in. It was right around 5 o'clock, a little before 5 o'clock, whatever, because I spoke early. I had all afternoon. Place was packed. Liverpool soccer was playing.
Oh, wow.
And man, look, there is nothing more fun sporting event than being, even if you don't like soccer, to be around soccer fanatics in a bar watching a game. Dude, it was hysterical. I even texted my son saying, man, you'd be like a pig in slop. You would love this. But it was, and I ended up getting the story from, I'm just sitting there, sat down at the bar, got me a beer and watching this. And after the game was over later on, I was talking to the cool bartender. And he was giving me the story about that place. And the guy that owns it's an older, he's around, but he's a really older guy now. But the owner was I guess a bouncer / maybe a bartender or something young back in the day when the Beatles were playing the clubs.
Oh.
So that was the tie to Liverpool. He was, sort of like, one degree of separation from, a dude that was not that, or it was a good story.
Hey, either way,
He may have sized me up. He might have said, "I got a Southern guy in here. He doesn't know anything. I'm just
you
going
can
to tell him.
believe whatever I say.
I'm going to tell him
Probably
what
can't even
Beatles."
tell if a microphone's not working.
Right. So those of you that are listening to this on the Monday night, I hope you got your stuff wrapped, and I hope you got your pets inside. And
Look,
apparently,
it's hot right now. I'm in short sleeves because I was doing some stuff outside, and it's
yep,
mid-70s.
yep. And it's not going to be that way by the time
No,
this podcast comes out. It's going to start.
no. My wife's a teacher, so yeah, so they're in Tennessee for a swim meet. I obviously didn't make it. And she said something. I talked to her this morning. Said, "We're gonna miss the whole week." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, snow's gonna stay on the ground." It was said we got 3 to 6 inches of snow.
Yeah. Well, it's
I,
possible. Yeah.
I said, "But I don't think you're gonna miss." I said, "It's not. It's gonna get above freezing, and I don't know what the hell it takes for snow to stay on the ground." And she said, "Well, there's snow on the ground still over here, and it's above freezing." I said, "Well,
All
how'd you
true.
get how'd you get where you are?" I said, "What?" I said, how'd you get your car where you are?" "Well, we drove there."
You can.
So there you go.
Yeah, but boy,
I know it's different here.
you know how south
I
of
would say
Louisiana is.
at least Wednesday's gonna be closed.
I want to say, and yeah, don't take this as guys watching this, because I don't know. This is second or third hand, but somebody told my wife yesterday that ULL is already called off a couple of days next week.
Probably so. I mean, people were yesterday, Friday morning by 9 o'clock, people were shutting down, which is odd, and maybe because of the Martin Luther King holiday on Monday.
Maybe
But we're
so.
supposed to get several, a number of inches for us on Tuesday, and it's
Yeah,
not going to get above freezing on Tuesday.
we got. I'm looking right now in Sugarland where I'm at. So we're gonna get down below freezing tonight. This is Saturday. Tomorrow we're gonna get down to 26. That's a pretty hard freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Monday we get down to 25. That's a
Yeah,
pretty hard freeze. But dang, on Tuesday
yeah, it's in the teens.
the high is 33, the low is 21. And that's when they're calling for, and then the rest of the week we still gonna be kind of dang cold. But they're calling they're calling for us snow up to 1 inch, which that's fine. But bruh, what's bad? Sleet and freezing rain mixed in
Yeah,
early.
yeah, that's the worst part.
Yeah, no, yeah, you don't want sleet and freezing rain. That's
No,
when
not on elevated roads in Louisiana.
no, or just trees. That's when stuff starts. That's when you lose power. That's the
I didn't think about that.
I'm scaring myself now, bro. Got myself all scared. So anyway, y'all, hopefully y'all got power and y'all watching this on the Monday night there. The rest of the country laughs at us when it comes to cold, but hey, it's how we are, man. Don't make fun of us. That's cold.
Yeah, that's right. I don't have a big jacket. Not that big.
Well, that I got. Let's see what else we got here. We pretty much covered it, man.
I think we got it.
I think we're the only other note I had right
first
here
week
was
back for a couple of weeks. We don't want to hurt ourselves.
that's true. The only note I had here that got me was something I saw last night. And I shouldn't get mad watching commercials, but I get mad watching commercials. There was a Granger commercial. You know what Granger, Graing? Okay.
Yeah, the tool place or the
Tool,
parts.
right. And it's apparently this person must work at like a sports stadium or something. And it's a she. And she's walking down the hallway and there's water all over. And then she walks in and one of the toilets, the pipe of the toilet, and everything. First of all, I got so many problems with the commercial. One is everything is pristine. It's clean. Water flowing out of a bathroom and it's clean. The toilet where the water is, it's coming right out the pipe. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen plenty of clogged, leaking toilets and in stadiums. It ain't from the pipe, bro. Okay. So first of all, I got a huge problem with the entire premise of this. But then she gets on the phone or whatever and calls the Granger people and they're whatever. And then she is the person fixing it, like with the pipes and undoing stuff. And look, my wife was sitting there and I said, maybe I'm wrong, and I'm not the oldest guy in the world, but I'm not the youngest guy in the world. I've been around. I have hired more plumbers in my life than I can Remember. Have you ever seen a female plumber?
No. No,
And
and that
look,
you can
I'm
call
not
it
even saying that
sexist
to be
all you
mean.
want. And I went to I was working on my Jeep this morning, I had to change a part. And I went to O'Reilly's Auto Part yesterday and asked them what part I needed. And it was a girl. So, and no offense to her, she sounded like she knew what she was talking about. But I went to one that closer to my house this morning because I knew there was a guy there.
Listen, but look, that most of them is just you can pull up what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between having a job where you have to know information and whatever. And okay, you're taking down a toilet or
Right.
I'm never, and it just dawned on me. It's like, so part of me is asking Granger, okay, you did that on purpose.
Oh,
Now,
totally.
what do you, of course, like in my
And do
entire,
you think the plumber at the stadium is going to have to call Granger?
there you go. Or that it's going to be, and young, I guarantee you the young lady doing this couldn't have been maybe mid 30s, if that. I'm like, come on now. Now, do they exist? Sure, there are unicorns out there, y'all. But that's just, sorry, never. I've had dozens, if not 100 or more plumbers come to my doors
And
over the
you
years.
could play on the left side of that thing. How many women plumbers do you think were watching that said, finally, I see someone who looks like me. I
There you
am
go.
now going to Granger.
There you go. That's exactly what they were, right? That's exactly what they were looking for. Anyway, it's one of, hey, okay. I jotted it down. It stuck with me because I was like, man, I'm about to ask Juan in your entire life, because you and I combined, we've been around the earth a few
It's been
times.
a minute.
Yeah. And never seen that. But thank you, Granger. Thank you, Granger, for allowing me to see what is possible.
Yeah. I bet the enrollment of young women in trade schools for plumbing
Not,
shot up.
not saying it's a bad idea. Not saying it's a bad idea.
No,
But
no,
let me
you
tell you
come on in
something.
with your plumber pants.
I think about this all the time. There's a reason plumbers get paid what they get paid. Because think about how grossed out you are about your own
Yeah,
bathroom every now
yeah,
and then,
yeah.
right? When you are having to deal with plumbing that is of your own making, right? You or your dear loved ones have created this catastrophe.
Right. Here's the main problem with plumbing in your house. Or I would think the most frequent issues: your toilet's messed up or your sink drain's messed up. Two things you don't want to deal with.
They are disgusting.
One more so than the other, but
Yes,
neither one are pleasant.
they are disgusting. You know what's even worse? When you got to go do it at somebody else's house.
Yeah.
There's something about getting some funk on you that at least it's your funk.
Yeah.
Or like, the funk of somebody that I raised as a kid or married. Okay, that's one thing. Man, if I'm dealing with somebody else's, so I'm just saying. So I just think a lot of women just say, you know what? I don't want to do that. And guys are just like, I guess that's what I'm gonna do. How much? What you could pay me? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I'll go deal with some gross stuff. All right. Well, guys, I think the buffet has been laid before you. There you go. It may be a chilled buffet by the time you hear this. So
Yeah, it could be frozen. Might have to
warm it
thaw
on
this
up.
boy a little bit.
Warm it up. We're going to push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to tape. I really hope it did. If you want to reach us, not that hard, y'all. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. And you got us.
And wherever you are now.
Wherever you are right now, there it is. There it is. Every week we tell you, and even on the weeks that we have to skip a week, we're still thinking it. We're still
Right, we
sending
thought it.
out the positive vibes to you, right? That it's not a suggestion, a hint, a subtle implication. Y'all,
Not even close, man.
freaking
Mandate. It's like one of the executive orders President Trump will be signing on Monday.
The executive order from Dave and Juan is get out there and live your best life. Live your best. Take your shots, y'all. Take your shots. Hopefully you had a great day. If you did, try to do that tomorrow. You bad day? All right. You got something clogged? Right?
Yeah.
Something came up that was supposed to stay down? All right.
Call Granger.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. But sometimes just suck it up. Well, not really suck it up. If you have a shop vac, suck it up. All right, watch my wording there and move on it, right? Just get on up and keep on moving, y'all. Live your best life. Get out there, have some adventures. We'll get together next week and chat about it all over again. Until then, everybody stay warm.
Stay warm.
Be careful. Yep, stay warm. Be careful out there. And we're going to see you next week. Love you, bro.
Back at you, dude. So yeah, last week when we were in Houston, we are staying at, and I've mentioned this before, one of Joey's best friends from high school lived in Houston, and they're near the campus. So and Joey and Riley have been to concerts in Houston, and they stay there, and it's very, very kind people, and it's give you the run of their house. So we were going to Houston last weekend, and so they said, "Yeah, stay here. We're not even going to be home." And I said, "Sweet, that's cool. If nobody's home, I'll stay there."
That's the best.
So then, yeah, you get there, and Joey, my wife, tells me, they're coming home tonight. And I said, this is the second night we're there. I said, well, let's just stay at a hotel. I can't, I'm meeting people. I'm having dinner with strangers that, other, kids that are going to be freshmen next year with my daughter. And I'm having dinner with them. I'm going to be peopled out. I'm going to be peopled out. Well, they're not going to be in until late. I said, I don't care. That'll be rude. We can't do that. All right. So then we get there, and it's like, well, they're not supposed to come home till like 10:30 or something. They're flying back from somewhere. And so I said, all right, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to bed. You can't go to bed. You can't go to bed. And I said, come on, man, it's late. I go to bed at 10 o'clock. So then her friend calls her, and that the dude is sick, and so they're having to stop at the urgent care on the way home. And I'm there. Yes, I'm going to bed now. And so I got let off the hook.
You had to see him in the morning, though, right?
No, he had the flu, so he was he got diagnosed, so he was locked up.
It's so sad that the person that was nice enough to lend you their home fell ill.
It was a key to it. Big old TV.
But at least you didn't have to talk to the guy.
Right. Dude, they had multiple boxes of some kind of candy that I hadn't eaten in forever. I don't even remember what the name of it was in their pantry, and one was open. And I ate the whole box. And so I had to open another one and eat partial. So I didn't know. I don't want to think I ate all that candy.
Quite the guest, Juan.
There you go. I am. I'm a good guy.
It's over. Go home.